Welcome back. Now let's look at the third category of children, and these are kids from age about 2 years to age about 5 years. Now, these kids are independent. They are walking about, they are running about, they are exploring all sorts of things. When you want to take something away from them, they say, no, 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 no. They throw a fit. These are the kids that we're going to consider now, and how they can be injured in the home environment, and what you and I can do to safeguard them or to protect them from injury in the home environment. Now, these kids can fall into a number of dangerous situations. One of them has to do with poisoning. Now, these kids imitate us a lot. And so, when you keep kerosene, caustic soda, in a Voltic bottle or in a bottle, and it is within the child's reach, this kid can go for it and then pick it up and drink it. Why? Because whenever he is thirsty, you give him water from the bottle to drink. You just put it to his mouth and then he drinks it. So when he is thirsty and you are not there, he sees the bottle there, he goes to pick it up and then he drinks it. And whatever is in it, he may end up drinking it. We have so many children who have come in and who have drunk caustic soda, and now they have a stricture. They're unable to feed. Even their own saliva sometimes can't go down. We have to go and put a little hole in their tummy and then begin feeding them through that hole. But it is a totally preventable thing that has now occurred to these ones. So when it comes to poisons, you need to keep them out of reach of the children. And don't even store them in a Fanta bottle, in a Coke bottle. Don't store them in those familiar bottles or bottles that we normally use to give the children sweet things or pleasant things. And keep them out of reach of the child. Now, keeping things out of reach of a child can be a bit tricky, because at this age they can now begin to climb. So even if you have a medicine cabinet and you put, say, your drugs, your hypertensive drugs, your diabetic drugs, you put them and you keep them in the medicine cabinet. If you just lock it and you keep the key in the keyhole, this is no match for a 5-year-old child, a 3-year-old child. He'll simply pull a kitchen stool, stand on it, climb, and then open the cabinet and then take out some of the drugs. Now look, every day he sees mommy taking pills, she doesn't give him some. Every day he sees daddy taking pills, daddy doesn't give him some. So today that he has gained access to the cupboard full of the pills, man, he's going to sit down and clear all the arrears of pills that you didn't allow him to take. So the kids end up coming in with poisoning. Iron poisoning is pretty common because you know the iron tablets, fesolate tablets, nice green little things. So the kid sees them and then he just begins to take them, and then he comes in with iron poisoning. So it's so important that even his own drugs, even his own paracetamol, you still keep it locked away and don't keep the key in the keyhole. Even if it is his own drug, remember that if he takes an overdose of his own drug, even paracetamol that we think is harmless can kill him. An overdose can kill him. So keep these drugs locked in the cabinet. Take the key out of the keyhole. Keep the key somewhere else where he won't put two and two together. He won't think that, okay, this is the key for this cabinet. Keep the key away from the child. So that has to do with poisons. Now, in the home environment, remember that in the other series, I talked about how a child can drown in a little bit of water. If you have uncovered water, I won't say water bodies, but uncovered wells or deep pits that people have dug and are now filled with rainwater, kids can drown in these things. Kids may not be able to appreciate the depth of the water body and they may fall in and they may drown. I have seen instances in which children have fallen into an uncovered well and then have drowned. By the time anyone got to know that there was a child in it, it was too late. So these things need to be covered. There's also the sad instance in which a kid was having her birthday and they had gotten a swimming pool, and a lot of children had come around to play in the pool, and so many kids were in the pool at one time, and the supervision was poor. Note, supervision was poor. What happens? The kids are all playing in the swimming pool, and then by the time they are aware, the one whose birthday it is at the bottom of the pool. Everybody gets up and we are looking, where's the birthday kid? Where's the birthday kid? The birthday kid is dead in the pool. She's drowned to death in the pool. Supervision is key, especially when you have a lot of children coming over for a kids party, for something. Supervision is so important. And this also goes to our teachers in school. During swimming lessons, during things like that, where you have a lot of the kids coming together, supervision is very important. I can't overemphasize how important supervision is. It's terrible that your child should drown at home. That's one of the worst things that should ever happen. Another issue that I'd talk about here has to do with our cars. Yeah, our cars. About 5 children can stand behind an SUV, what we like to call 4-wheeler. About 5 children can stand behind it, and you, the driver, will not see them because they are short. So you won't see them in your driving mirror, and you can easily back over those children. It's happened countless times. On one occasion, one of these cars, that's a Kia car that transports sachet water. They went to a house, and then there was a kid playing around. When they were backing out, they couldn't find the kid, only to realize that the kid was being dragged under the car. It happens. So it's important that when you're moving your car, you take a look whether there's anybody around the car before you sit in and before you back out. It can happen to even your own children. You can be reversing out of your house or coming into your house. Your little one is running to meet you. Before you are aware, you may have knocked him down. When you leave cars at home, make sure that they are locked. This is really sad, but make sure that they are locked. There have been instances in which kids see a car, they climb into it, and then they lock themselves in and they're unable to get out. And it takes hours for anybody to realize that we can't find our kids. Where are the kids? Only for them to realize that the kids have died in the car. It happens quite a lot. So if you have a car, make sure that when you exit from it, you lock it. And this brings to mind the thing that at every point in time, as a parent, you need to know where your child is at, what your child is doing. You know, sometimes you may be chatting with a friend. Your kid was playing around outside. You can't see the child anymore. And it's been an hour, it's been 2 hours. You're not hearing the child playing outside. You're not hearing their familiar fighting or things. You need to get up and go and check. You can't just say, oh, now that they are quiet, then it's even good. Let me continue my gossip with my friend. No, you need to get up and go and check. Can you believe that even at my age, when I go home to visit my parents, my mom, every now and then, maybe she'll be in the sitting room or be in the bedroom. Then I'll hear her call out, yeah, then I'll say yes. Then she'll say, Then I'll say, is there a problem? Why were you calling me? Then she'll say, no, there's no problem. I just need to know where you're at. Even at my age, can you imagine? Even at my age, a grown woman. But it just underscores the point that it is so important that at every point in time, you will know where your child is at. Supervision is key. Let me sum up. At every age, 2 things are important. Surveying your environment for potential hazards, an uncovered water body, an electrical socket, things like that. Surveying your environment for potential hazards. And number 2, supervision. Keep your eyes on your child. Know where your child is at any point in time. Those are the 2 most important things when it comes to keeping a child safe in the home environment or even in school. Keeping a child safe, supervision. Number 2, surveying your environment for hazards and mitigating or getting rid of those hazards within the environment. So I'll end this session here, and if you have any question, you can just drop it in the column below, and I'll come back on another occasion. I'm not going to tell you when, but I'll come back on another occasion and then answer your questions on child safety. Let's keep our children safe. Let's make tomorrow bright for our country. Stay tuned and stay blessed.